Hi there, everybody. This is Gwen Alexander, and I am the host of the Lupus Living podcast. And I wanted to come on here because this month is Lupus Awareness Month. This is May of 2022, and it's been a while since I've done a live. And I was feeling kind of like, I like to get on to share with everybody besides just having an audio recorded. So if you haven't heard of the podcast, I started it back in 2018 after I was diagnosed with lupus in 2017. And one of the reasons I started the podcast was it seemed that there was a lot of information out there about lupus, about how it affects your body and what kind of medications their doctors might prescribe for you. But there wasn't a lot of information about how to live with this. What do you do if you have to still go to work and even though you're tired or your joints are flamed up or or you're in some type of pain or you have to still take care of your family, you still have responsibilities. Life life doesn't stop for lupus. But today I just wanted to focus on what the theme is this year for uh, for the month with lupus. And the theme for 2022 is Lupus Awareness Month, making lupus visible. Now, lupus is usually known as the invisible disease because sometimes when people look at us, they think, wow, you fine. You don't look like you're sick. Maybe, they can't see the fact that you've got a migraine headache or like I say, your joints might be swollen to the point where you can barely walk or move your hand like you need to. One of the things I notice I do throughout the day is I sit there and kind of have my fingers going in and out because it seems to help it, especially when they're starting to feel stiff. So a lot of what we go through, people can't see. So if they can't see it, you might get into, hey, are you faking that? And also that brings me to I've been saying in the podcast for this month, if you have something that you would like anyone that doesn't have lupus to know, let me know because I'd like to do a whole episode on lupus, what we wish you knew. And I've gotten a few, and I thank you those for you that have done that. And plus, I'm going to put my 2 cents in, but I still like to have more. So you can go on the website. You can send it through message here on Facebook or Instagram. We have a page. You can send me an email, Gwen at thegwenalexander.com. And the website is thegwenalexander.com. And there's a lupus living podcast section, or you can press the contact form and send me a message that way. Or you can put them in the comments, whether this is on YouTube or Facebook, or I'm trying to share mostly on most of the social media. And I also wanted to point out something. I don't know if you can see, I have my purple lipstick on to help celebrate with making lupus visible for this year. And do you like my glasses? I get lots of compliments on my glasses. So maybe that doesn't help that I don't look sick. I try to look too good whenever I'm trying to get dressed for the day. But um, but back to the Lupus Awareness Month, making it visible. I know it's hard for some of us to probably share. That makes us vulnerable when we share with people of how we're feeling. I've mentioned in past episodes how I try to hide it sometimes because I would be showing all the time that, hey, I'm struggling today. Certain the ones I can't hide are when it attacks my ankles or my knees. I have to limp around when I'm walking, or I have to get my crutches out. But as far as the fatigue, somewhat you can hide that if you're not falling asleep whenever you're talking to somebody. But another way, one of the things we can do to make it visible is to share our stories. I've encouraged everyone this month to either share your story on, social media. It doesn't have to be a really long thing. It can be just a little short paragraph or, hey, thank you everybody that supported me during this time. And I mean, I still think the nurses that I know, the people that sent me flowers and things while I was in the hospital or gave me food or, just checked. I had a friend that just checked on my house because for almost 3 weeks I was gone. I was in the hospital trying to get better. And it was during winter, so they would make sure my heat was on, the windows were closed and everything. And it just was like, wow, I really appreciate everything that everybody was doing for me. So it could be just a short thing like that. I'm trying to do my computer at the same time while I'm doing this. So you might see me looking off to the side a little bit. But yeah, but anything like that, you could share maybe to make it visible. when I finally shared my story, it was a few months after I got out of the hospital in 2017. I had several people reach out to me saying, "Hey, my wife has that." And I didn't know. I mean, I'd known these people for years, and I didn't know that was the health problem that his wife was dealing with, or they had another family member, or they had lupus or some type of other autoimmune disease where they had kind of the same symptoms that I was having. So that to me was a great support for me. And I also wanted to update you on some things that I've been doing. I don't talk a lot about, hey, guess what I'm doing? But one of the things I'm trying to encourage people with lupus is, don't make this a reason why we have to give up on our goals or our dreams or living our lives. I've had graduation parties to go to recently. I'm still working on my piano. For those of you that have listened to the podcast, I that was one of my things. I was a piano major in school many years ago, and I have my own piano, but I decided to take it apart, fix some things, and going to try and tune it. So I'm getting there slowly but surely. I've been working on my budget. I actually enjoy doing that. I'm a numbers person. I work in a bank, so that probably works out. Where does my money go? I like to know that. So if I want to buy something, I know I can get it. And also ride my bike. I was pretty happy. I got through 4 miles the other day, and I was not tired. So that was great. And that also goes along with sharing your lupus story. When I went to the graduation party, one of the people that was there said something to me about something I participated in. And I said, "Yeah, I don't do it as much because I hate to tell them I can do it and then I can't do it because I have lupus." And he was like, "Well, I've kind of heard of that, but what is that exactly?" And so I had a chance to share with him, how it affects me and why it's hard for me to schedule things because I could be fine today, and then the day I'm supposed to do the schedule thing, I can't function. So I hate to cancel on people. And I explained some other things about my story when I was in the hospital, that whole year of just pain and everything. And you should have seen the look of surprise on their faces because I just assume most people still kind of know about this disease. Apparently, they don't. And also, I had a chance to kind of share my lupus story. We didn't mention lupus, but I was out riding my bike. And there's this park that I go on, and somebody was coming towards me that I recognized. So we stopped to talk. And I said, "Yeah, I started bike riding a few years ago because it's easier on my knees. Even though I can walk pretty well, I don't know what I do if my stride's too big or something, but my knee just swells up so bad after. But when I ride my bike, I don't really have a problem." And he said, "Yeah, I've got the same thing. I used to walk all the time, but now my knees, I think he has arthritis. I just can't do that anymore." So, I mean, I've still tried to stay active. It's just in a different way now. And also sharing with people, it gives me an opportunity to let them know that, hey, I'm going through this, and maybe here's something that you can do to help you if you're dealing with these types of symptoms. So don't forget to share on this Lupus Awareness Month. And also, like I said, I'm still working on that episode of what I wish you knew about living with lupus. So don't forget to get your suggestions to me or put them in the comments. And also, I'm working on a future guest. It's a doctor. I can't remember her name right now, but she works with people with lupus and stem cell therapy. And that's not the only thing she works with, but that's one of the focuses. And actually, the Lupus Foundation of America, in their research section, talks about stem cell therapy for lupus, and some of the things that they're working towards are finding who could benefit from that. Because remember, we're all different. We don't all have the same symptoms. Something might work for me, a medication might work for me, but might not work for someone else. Another thing they're trying to see with the stem cell therapy, if it'll reduce your need for medications like steroids. We would all love that. We get weird moon face when we take steroids a long time, and which could have harmful side effects for some of us. And also to see if it would help to stop the damage to your vital organs, which is very important. So I've been kind of keeping track of that, what their research is on there. And you can visit their website. They have lots of great information on the Lupus Foundation of America website. And also they even have studies they're doing for childhood lupus. I mean, I couldn't even think of children having to deal with the type of symptoms that I deal with at such a young age. And then to think of how long they might have to deal with that. So I'm glad they're trying to do research on how lupus affects children and what can we do to help them to have a long and productive life. One thing they mentioned on the Lupus of America Foundation of America website is about the research that they've secured $684 million in federal research in the past 5 years. I mean, it's an important thing that they have the funding. Even I try to give, even if it's $5 or $10, just think we're all giving that amount or what we can give to help them to figure out what causes this, or even not what causes, but how do we help people that have this disease? So that's one reason why I like to keep track of what the latest research is with lupus. And that's one thing you can share with your family, maybe for your birthdays. I know Facebook lets you do a fundraiser. You could make the Lupus Foundation of America, go towards their research to be one of your fundraisers, maybe for your birthday that year or this year. So that's one thing working on with a future guest that she can talk to us about how stem cell therapy could help with lupus. And also, I hope you had a chance to see the post I made. I think I shared it on Facebook. I didn't get to try and do it on Instagram about self-care and lupus, because that's one of the things when I was talking, I can't remember who I was talking to about that, but I said the part about with starting a podcast was there wasn't a lot about out there how to change your lifestyle. Because I hate to tell you, you're going to have to probably make some changes to your lifestyle. I don't do the go like I used to. There is no way. And I wanted to post more this past month, but I had things come up with my health. I needed to save my energy because I had several meetings where I had to be going at 7 o'clock at the meeting. So that meant I had to get up early in the morning or drive to a meeting 2 hours away. So I had to conserve my energy. But in the past, I would have just tried to go off of 3 or 4 hours of sleep. Can't do that anymore. Also, the way I try to stay active. I used to like to do hard workouts, and I kind of do weight training now, but it's mostly like I shared an episode on LISS exercise, low intensity, steady state. So sometimes I have to do that or ride my bike, which, riding your bike, if you get on a hill, it's pretty intense. So I've had some hills I've had to walk up instead of riding my bike, but I'm getting better. Like I said, it's a progress. And that was one thing too I talked to them about when I was mentioning about lifestyle changes is I can still do things, but it might take me longer to get, things done, whether it's a goal I have or just anything. I have to plan it pretty well. That's one of the things I think that's hard for many of us with lupus because we're not lazy people. That's one of the things I want to talk about on the What We Wish You Knew. We're not lazy. We just have to live our lives a different way in order to get things done that other people just don't think about. So this May 2022 of Lupus Awareness Month, or whenever you're watching this, it doesn't just have to be in May. Let's make lupus visible. Share your story, whatever you feel comfortable sharing about how this affects your lives, or try to have someone close to you that you can talk to about when you're struggling, because sometimes there's nothing you can do but just kind of sit there and let it work, the flare go through its course. But that doesn't mean that we have to say, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to try anymore. So my name is Gwen Alexander. Be sure to subscribe to the Lupus Living podcast on your favorite podcast app. It's on Apple, Google, probably anywhere you can find a podcast. You can search under Gwen Alexander and it'll probably come up. So click the subscribe button on there. I'm still working on the YouTube channel. I am getting there. Like I said, it didn't go in the time frame I wanted to, but it is slowly getting there. And I want to try and do more video in the future. Got my little studio set up here, trying to still get that worked on. So I hope everyone, you have a good day, have a good week, weekend, whenever you're listening to this, a good night. And you just keep on keeping on and never give up on you.